hey, hopefully you have at least a good match here. So, Cole Stumpy, have fun.
Thank you, Leaf. I mean, stranger things have indeed happened than Shopify Rebellion being able to beat FaZe in one match in the group stages. Don't get us wrong. But I think that FaZe bringing in Mist, he was the perfect player for them.
Yeah, and although, we've seen FaZe now go 25-3 in their first round games, they've actually never won a second round game in the entirety of the RLCS. What a crazy stat that would be if I wasn't just lying to you. Of course, they're still very good in those second rounds. I feel like, to be completely honest, if you're Shopify, you're thinking, how well can we do versus FaZe, and how will this set us up for that third round game when we play versus PK? But early on, first killer is going to be shooting on target as the bumps come out immediately.
It is the last thing you want when you come up against FaZe, to go behind early on. Especially, if it's a first killer wonder goal, that's one thing. But FaZe worked the ball well there. There was a bump involved. It was a regular Rocket League goal, just showing that FaZe have the extra pace over Rebellion right now. And look how much control they're having of the ball. You can't let them just get all the boost, dribble in the air, and not be charged down. If nothing else, we need to see a lot of charge downs from Rebellion right now.
FaZe wanting to try and get rid of as many players seemingly on Shopify's side as they possibly can. Passes going up first, killer trying to go for those bumps as well, but a push coming in from Mist. Come off that double tap attempt from Typical. Pass in the middle, flicking central, but two pieces beaten to the ball by first killer. One of the fastest, most incredible players we have seen take this game up. And FaZe in this most recent split, we're going to want to be seeing them, especially at that Winter Major, which we're all, they're one of the locks realistically to be going through to that Winter Major. A lot of people want to see them taking those international and victories.
But they have to start turning semi-finals appearances to become a bit of a meme, top 4 FaZe. They have to start turning them into tournament victories. That's the final piece of the puzzle for FaZe. All the teams they go out against in the semi-finals, the amount of times they've beaten them in the Swiss, beaten them in the group stages.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit different for them in the semis. So that's the last key for them to really become, one of the more storied rosters in Rocket League history. But
they started that in full. They started that in full. They won events now. They went to those grand finals. They managed to do fantastically until Gen G obviously just went utterly sicko mode and just 4-0'd them because they were just on something that day, right? FaZe, they're starting to grow that ice. They're beginning to be chillier than we've seen them be. And that's a terrifying time for any other team in North America, a region that is becoming more and more stacked with every single roster move that we see and every single team and player move over to that region.
Well, let's see what 2P's Path and Memory are able to offer. Between them, there's a lot of experience there, particularly from Memory. You need more than experience. We need a bit of quality up against FaZe. You need to be able to charge down these dribbles for a start. Mr. Ball just bounced off in there. The player challenging him pinged away, and this was able to keep on going. But since going behind, I would say that Rebellion have shown some looks. They've been a little bit active in the orange half, and it's not a terrible start for them apart from the goal.
Not at all. I mean, they went down by 1 because Typical was bearing down on the final defender left at the back, but they've had some fantastic interceptions. FaZe at times being somewhat choreographed, knowing exactly what they're going to do. First killer took about 2 seconds to set up a pass earlier, and 2Piece intercepted that. So we're seeing them get red a good few times, and first killer working his way out of his defense with little boost. That demo coming in, opening up that back line. Once again, the aggression is awesome.
I wonder how many people looked away as soon as that demo came in, because they're like, first killer's going to score. I can come back after the goal explosion. I don't need to see this. There is 0% chance that first killer going for a double tap with boost, twirling around and a little octane, is ever going to miss. The man's consistency, mechanically, I don't think we've seen too many players like first killer. When players are that mechanical, part of the beauty of mechanical players, and I'm thinking of, for example, AJ, the player FaZe dropped, is that they are off or on.
Yeah.
First killer is always on, and he's always mechanical.
He's unbelievable. He's one of the greatest players in the world. He managed to get into that second spot on that Shift Top 20 list of last year. And a few people argued against it, sure, but his consistency is something else. Memory bringing back a goal for Rebellion, reducing that deficit to just 1.
The conversation shifts. 1 minute, we were just chatting away about how FaZe were brilliant and how first killer was completely in control. But then 1 goal from Shopify Rebellion with 120, with 1 minute and 20 seconds left, is enough to suddenly make this one a little bit less certain. So let's see if Rebellion can make the most of it.
Holding on now are FaZe with a flick over the top. Path is going to be pushing Typical to save it away onto the backboard. It wraps around onto the opposite side. Path there again, ever present, pushing down on that FaZe defense. First go sees Typical central. Instead goes for that shot, blocked out. Good idea to go for that early block. Missed turning away on that challenge towards that blue net. Missed into that back corner now with 2Piece waiting again. Choreographed, and 2Piece is the one to be intercepting.
Good touch from Memory, keeping the pressure on FaZe right now. Typical takes a touch. It could be risky. Path has been tempted in and almost backfired, but for 2Piece all the way back. Still 40 seconds left. So much time for Rebellion to get back into this one. They just need one bit of luck to go their way. 2Piece can be forced. A huge demo from Memory on Typical. Missed to the side. Typical spawns that side, but won't be able to get there. I think the 2Piece doesn't want this second touch. Path up, wants the second, won't quite get it. FaZe having to do some defending. Thing is, Rebellion are defending so deep because they know that if FaZe get one touch past them, that will be game over. They have to take the risk in the last 10 seconds.
FaZe have gone for a good few long shots, and you're right, that completely nullifies that third man because he knows he has to sit back just that little bit further. Memory catching the ball from that missed touchdown. Memory now 15, but First Killer pushing it out to an awkward position. Typical is there to receive the ball, gets the flip reset, 50s it to the floor. Late demos sees FaZe Clan and the screen lights up in red as the first dub rolls.
Pretty much what we expected there in game number 1. First Killer with a couple of goals for his team, but Rebellion did come back, so there are green shoots of hope for Shopify. This is whether they can do any more than that in this series going forward. Now, Leaf, I was having a scan of these series, and I'd say that pretty much all of them, not the results, but just the sort of matchups. I would wait for you, of course. And it seems to me that most of them have got a firm favorite. Are any results going against that firm favorite?
Yeah, so you've definitely spoiled yourself if you're setting me up like this right now. Because
I haven't at all. I don't have a clue. I truly know nothing.
You're a greedy little ginger, aren't you?
I don't know anything. I'm clueless and foolish.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what? North America looks to be just round 2 going exactly as expected. Psych!
What?
Mateo taking down NRG in game 1.
Yar, matey, yar.
So NRG, it was a short-lived run.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, it's still early on. It's best of 5, right? It's too much pirating.
True. But that's the faith we don't have of NRG. Like, it was a flash in the pan. They had a good run, but now they're losing to Matey. What a shame.
Yar.
It's all done. It's all doom. From here on up for that.
No, surely not.
Captain Blackbeard going to take him down
that quickly. Surely, Leaf. You're
no, absolutely not.
Matey,
It'll be fine. M80 former Xset roster taking him down. So if you want to see an exciting match, head on over to those team streams as well. But pretty standard across the board, except for as well Team Axel taking a game off version 1 just now.
Oh.
Big results then. So there's a lot of stuff going on, guys. If you've only just come to this stream, we're not the only one we're covering, but one of our many matches happening right now. There are 8 taking place all at once. Gosh, you're lucky. First going to help to get that shot there. But if you want to see some other incredible shots that might even go in, you can have a little gander at some of the other streams that are available. Just look at the Rocket League category on your streaming website of choice.
Once again, FaZe have started this second game hugely quickly. Barreling down, First Killer nearly the flip reset in the first 15 seconds, and the passing plays, able to mix up their attacks in insane ways every single time. FaZe Clan, but there's only 1 goal between the 2 teams overall so far. It's 0-0 in the second one. A reminder as well that in their first series, Shopify Rebellion got better and better against Fury as it went on. Game 1 was a 2-0 loss. Then after that, it was a 3-2 loss. Then after that, it was 3-2 in overtime. So a team that are improving mid-series. And if they can improve on that first game, then maybe, just maybe, they stand a chance.
The midfield battle commencing here on Forbidden Temple. And I saw a post earlier on social media where it said, casters, stop talking about how much you love Forbidden Temple being back. Nah, I love it.
It's really good.
It's
my
so
favorite
pretty in pink. I like it a lot. But minute 30 with no incident just yet. We're still trying to see that Shopify Rebellion bring it towards FaZe as hard as they can. 2Piece on that backboard. Finding Memory. Path is central. Path is up.
Go on.
But missed with that free cognition, able to jump in the way.
Lovely read from Memory, though, as well, to find Path, who couldn't quite connect. But Memory will be able to get some boost here. So Shopify should be pretty okay as far as boost is concerned. You do 2Piece. Could any of these players make a name for themselves against FaZe? Put themselves in that conversation of players, individuals, teams that deserve to be just knocking on the door of San Diego. Maybe it's Path, maybe it's right now. He gets an assist, but typical. What a demo that is on 2Piece when he was about to pull the trigger.
Yeah, shutting down those players when they've got their eyes set on the ball. You can come out the blind spot, remove them from play entirely, and just make sure that that is completely shut down. Then the counter-attack can continue. First killer touching gently towards Typical, but instead takes the ball himself, launches it into the ceiling, tries to then go down for the ground pinch. Everything the first killer does, it looks like he's spilling a bucket of paint everywhere, but he is making artwork with every stroke.
I'm just trying to figure out that.
Just move on.
I think it makes sense. Memory, needs to move on as well. Missed.
Jason
Can't quite
Pollard.
get there. It was
His
closed
name's
down.
Jason. Anyway, Leaf last. 1-0.
Wasn't a snort, though.
Wasn't a snort. Half point.
No, you lose points for a laugh. You gain points for a snort. It's a very weird scoring system, but the game's the game, you know?
I'm North American. We laugh at everything you do that's not funny.
That's fair.
That's how we made our career.
Yeah. Sonics have not realised just yet. 2 minutes remaining on Forbidden Temple, and this 0-0 I feel is only suiting in favour of Rebellion. Like, this is only building confidence. Cole, you said that they worked their way into series certainly being proven.
I mean, another theory is that any second first killer can just punish you out of nothingness, and you can see how much respect they give him. As soon as he has the ball, there's always at least one player just camped on that Shopify Rebellion goal line. You can't blame them, but so far, First Killer and his team haven't found a way through. Maybe that changes now. 2Piece again. Huge pre-jump save. Path to the side. Shopify Rebellion growing in confidence, believing they can defend at the very least against FaZe. And they turn it around when they're on the attack. First Killer, another flip. They know that's coming. He's coming again, though. 2Piece, a huge save yet again. Typical to the corner. Path sends it high. And 2Piece, the savior so far in this series, gets it away to the other side. And might even score it.
Strong shooting on that chance, but typical to save it away. And then finally the long shot, they've left it open, but Path is able to get it away until First Killer just about taps that ball in. The shot going off the crossbar. It was close to not being anywhere near in until it is tapped by 2Piece and Path.
That's why they call him six-shot first killer. He takes his first shot, gonna be saved. Takes the second, gonna be saved. Takes his fifth, gonna be saved. But that man does not miss 6 times.
Or
1-0 FaZe plan.
Sorry.
They get saved as well.
Okay, sorry, I was going to make sure.
2Piece! Oh, man.
2Piece has been the player for Rebellion so far. He has been, I mentioned him in that game number 1. He was intercepting and just making sure that his vision was exactly what he thought. Basically, what's the perfect play to do here? And FaZe will probably do it, and therefore I can read that. He's been brilliant, and I think that 2Piece is able to read this game to the point where he shuts down FaZe a good few times. And even on that defense, he's up where those shots find themselves in. The demo coming in too, he's not alone. Shot high, Path is able to get out of the target, but First Killer saving away 2Piece. This shot, devastation in the final 20.
That is so frustrating. There was an open goal among that as well. I think Memory just had to roll it home, try to do too much. When you're up against FaZe, you feel you've got to shoot it perfectly. They're going to go to the end, though. There's a bump attempt. Path has got the flick. Typical helps out Mist, who was just stranded in goal. This must be the end. Typical is able to get it down. 2Piece high. So near yet so far to Shopify Rebellion. It's FaZe fan that win game 2.
And Red fills the screen yet again. Oh my word. Okay, this is Rebellion though, starting to turn it around. They're wanting to keep this pressure up as much as they can. They only lacked by 2 shots compared to FaZe that time. And they're near enough equal on saves too. So fantastic job by Rebellion to hold it just to that 1. But you're literally not winning games if you're holding it to just a 1-goal loss. It all still counts as 1 loss. So they need to just be trying to pull themselves into that winning position.
Now, Leaf, I'm scared to ask anything specific because you'll tell the world and me that I've been cheating looking at the scores.
No.
I don't know anything that's gone on, Leaf. Tell me everything.
Lots of fun stories, to be honest. NRG did bounce back in game 2. So game 3, they're tied up 1-1. They are back. G2, this is my favorite one right now, are currently trying to speedrun groups as they look for another sweep. They almost... I felt Shogun's ears perk. There was almost a Shogi sweep. We almost had a 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, but they're up 2-0 right now. So, it's 2-1 now. So that has been ruined, but they are looking to stomp through their groups right now, which is really fun. Gen G is having a bit of trouble. They got game 1, but game 2, they're tied into a minute overtime with Dignitas right now. So they've they've only won most of their games by like 1 goal. So it's not been a stomping for them this turnout.
Well, Jack, moving to North America to get away from Dignitas, and yet here they are, chasing him all the way across the pond. If you're going to be seeing what is happening with Gen G, have a look at their channel. You can see all of their stream, you can see all of their passion as well, with new boy traitor Dazarin.
Dazarin. The problem for NRG. Let's see if NRG can keep their streak going. And I want to see a little bit more from Shopify Rebellion, Stumpy. 2-piece. He's my boy. He's getting himself a goal in this game. I'm confident.
Well, we're unbiased here, bear in mind.
Oh! Yeah, I still root for Rocket League, mate. And 2-piece score on a goal.
Here we go.
It's what's best for this series. Here he is, up against First Killer. First Killer, though, is a decent player himself. Finds Mist to find the corner. Coming up against First. First Killer's beaten all ends up. How rarely do you see that? And Typical's touch isn't great either. Or maybe he knew exactly where Mist was, so it was okay. Demos come flying in.
Coming out, these demos trying to weaken that back line too. Because if you're going to be trying to shake up FaZe, I think rarely will a team be able to do it by purely outplaying them. There are very, very few teams in the world that are going to be able to out-mechanic, be anything on the ball play is going to be hard. So what you have to do, look away from the ball, remove them from the pitch entirely, go 2v3 mode, get those demos, just try and hunt them, make them just completely unsafe in their own net, and they're constantly moving, using that bit more boost.
Typical sends that one high and long, and then gets the second touch himself. An absolute thunder doink. That's got some power on it. First Killer can keep it going for Path, who does have 2-piece in front of him. If he can just navigate that ball towards him, not quite possible. But again, it's a close 0-0 going into at least halfway through this game. If Mist isn't able to put an end to that, there's good defending from Shopify Rebellion. FaZe Clan definitely have slowed down since game 1, not looking as devastating, and that's in a big way how well Shopify are playing.
First Killer on the right-hand wing is trying to flick it just past Path, but Path intercepting. Typical now in the air, but with 0 boost, he has to hand it off to First Killer. Stealing pass towards Mist, wide of the net, and Path's able to catch. Flicking towards that right-hand side if you're on that blue team. Memory in the sky, 70 boost, but it just goes too far. No control, just forgoes the ball back towards FaZe, who have had so much possession in this game in particular. Typical handily beating out Path there, and that pace is starting to continue and turn up as First Killer turns up himself.
I'm just trying to imagine playing against FaZe Clan and First Killer. You think, right, we're really on top of this, we're getting into it, and then suddenly First Killer just clicks his fingers, you're out the game. It's Typical that gets the goal, but the turn of pace from First Killer, my mind boggles with how consistently he does those sorts of plays, and how even these, the best players in the world, whoever he's up against, struggle to deal with it time and time again.
There is something special when First Killer goes to that supporting role. He becomes different. He becomes just every teammate that you could ever want wrapped into one. He is sensational at that role. Becoming that second, third man is where he thrives. And when everybody on FaZe is reading that too, that's when they become towards that level where you see them winning those regionals, where you think this is one team that could really be on top of the world.
Excuse me, sir.
Hello.
Would you like some information? Would you like some information? Okay. While G2 is speed running,
the man to the left.
No, but they scored. They scored while he was talking.
FaZe Clan is winning. This is why I interrupted. It's
really
over.
Good goal.
Ratio.
Carry on.
All right. Well, I'm never going to talk again. How about that?
Leaf, I would like your information, please. Go.
All right.
All of you.
G2 speed running. On the other end, we do have a 2022-23 season record right now. SSG and Optic were in 11-minute 13 overtime, longest of any region in the season so far. So if you want something exciting, other than a 3-0 sweep like we're seeing here, head on over to those team streams. That's really it. That's all.
That was good. Hey, I like
okay?
that. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Well, we come back to then FaZe being 2-0 up versus Shopify Rebellion in game and in series. As Lee said, if you do want to go look at anything that isn't a 3-0, please feel free to go and look at any of the other series that are going on. There's so many casters, so many great people. Go and support them. Mist sinking the third, and that is going to be 1 apiece for FaZe Clan.
Speaking of a piece, 2-piece is still going to score in this game. I said it was going to happen. So I'm still believing that in the next minute and 2 seconds, we're going to see a 2-piece wonder goal. Because of the Rebellion players, he is the one who is definitely...
He's been the standout.
Yeah, he has. He's made the biggest statement for himself. FaZe too good, though, of course. I don't think a reverse sweep is going to be on the cards in this game. And FaZe looking sort of pretty much favourite for this event so far, apart from Gen G. FaZe and Gen G, they're the two still, aren't they, for North America?
I feel
really?
like these groups just sort of happen, and they're not that representative. First Killer getting that 4th goal as well. Hopefully we're finishing 4th in this event. A lot of people are going to be looking at FaZe to, I think, start off this split strong, wanting to make sure that they start off on that right foot, they win that regional, and then Gen G are thinking, okay, maybe we get our chance later. But FaZe want to try and hold them back. Gen G dominated at the most recent major over in Rotterdam. They did the greatest job that they could have done. And FaZe just weren't there for it. FaZe weren't able to get that win, something that they keep looking for, of course. So, yeah, I think these groups, they tell a story, but it all comes down to how teams play tomorrow and on Sunday.
Can't really disagree with that at all, to be honest.
Thanks, man.
Completely fair. No, fair point. So for now, it's just FaZe seeing this one away. It's a decent day's work so far. They survived the scare. First Killer is still getting to state now. Time for one more wonder goal. Is this going to stop it? Is this going to help it? No one knows what's going on.
Oh, he
this
nearly gets
the
it
crossbar, and then First Killer takes away Typical's numbers. Sorry, Step. I'm the
Just
big man
toying.
here.
Toying with their food. I like seeing them mess around. Yeah, I always like it when teams like, look, we're 4-0 up, lads. We don't need to get a fit, really.
Oh,
Let's just be silly. Path manages to get the sole goal for Shopify Rebellion. Unfortunately for them, though, it's not going to mean anything. And just so people are aware completely of this format, 4 teams, 4 groups. Get first in your group, which is exactly what FaZe Clan are trying to do. They are going to be able to go through and not play that first round in the playoffs. They go straight to the quarterfinals, and they play tomorrow, whoever is first in their respective groups.
Can't wait to see FaZe versus Furia. What a matchup that'll be for top of Group B, assuming Furia are doing well against PK. But Leaf, maybe that's not happening.
They are doing well against PK. Actually, I think that just in this game, they're